you missing out on your community's potential because you're confusing your members? Let's find out in this video. If you're not clear about the unique value proposition that your community provides, it's likely that your community members aren't clear either. And that means that you're missing out on massive growth and engagement potential that you could be maximizing within your community. Let's get this part right so that you can get back to the actual fun community building work. Hi, I'm Carrie Melissa Jones, and I've helped hundreds of businesses launch, grow, and maintain authentically connected communities. If you're wondering how to sell the value of your community, you are absolutely not alone. Many of my clients come to me and they're just confused about how they actually talk about the value of what community really is and means for their customers. What ends up happening is our clients are often using value propositions that sound nice, that sound fluffy, that sound really warm and inviting, but in the end, nobody's buying. Today, you're going to learn what we teach our clients about what people are willing to pay for and how to actually write out your unique value proposition for your community. So let's get right into it. So first things first, what is a value proposition and what is it specifically for a community? Well, a value proposition is just a statement of what makes your community unique and valuable to your potential buyer. A strong value proposition is also going to acknowledge what makes your community truly unique and stand out against the competition. So your buyers might have other communities, other masterminds, other courses that they can sign up for. Why is yours the best option? We've got to get out in front of that and address that question. Some examples for what can make a community truly unique are: number one, cheapest price. Blech. We don't want to go with that one, okay? We are expensive, we are luxury, we are worth the price tag. We don't want to compete on price, but that is one possible option for you. Your community could also be the highest quality or be delivered in a way that is truly different from others out there. So you have a special design or feature set that nobody else has. Or what I want all of us to lean even more into is the idea that as hosts of these communities, that we are some of the most experienced and knowledgeable people, the most experienced and knowledgeable guides for others on their journeys through whatever progress they're trying to make with your community. So we need to stand in that power and say, yes, we are excellent guides for you. And that is a truly unique selling proposition as well. You'll often see community value propositions on community landing pages like these. So we've got Chiefs landing page in which they talk about their value proposition. For them, Chief is the only private membership network focused on connecting and supporting women executive leaders. Or another example, we've got Soapbox. So Soapbox is a friendly community of busy people like you, where we combine personal responsibility, collective action, and fun. Or we have the Aspen Institute example here, where the Aspen Institute is inviting fellows to join a national community of diverse and distinguished leaders who sustain and support the values-based work of the Aspen Institute. Now, I'm not saying that these are perfect value propositions, but I am giving you examples here of where you might see these in action. It's important to be thoughtful about your community value proposition because otherwise it can just come across as generic and like an afterthought that people just ignore. So this example from the International Communication Association feels very, very generic. They talk about learning, connecting, and engaging. Every community talks about learning, connecting, and engaging. So we're going to talk in this next part of the video about how to make your community value proposition stand out. As many of our clients learn, and one in particular that I'm thinking about right now, if you have a generic landing page, a generic value proposition for your community, then members don't really know why they're there. They might join by accident and then just think, this isn't a space for me, or they might not ever join at all. So if you're seeing your conversion rates being very, very low, or retention rates from joining your community into becoming an active member, it could be because your value proposition is extremely confusing, unclear, or just generic, vague, and not compelling anybody to take any action. Now, at this point in the video, if you're feeling lost and you're not even sure why someone would want to join your community, what could potentially make it unique, then I want you to check out my absolutely free workshop you can find at the link in this video description on how to design meaningful community experiences and programs. This is going to help you to get really strategic about what it is you're building, why you're building it, and then you can get the marketing right. So let's talk about the 3 components of an effective community value proposition. The first is that the value proposition should be written in a way that is specific to you and what you plan to provide. We don't want to just go with generic and vague words like the ones I've already mentioned: learn, connect, and grow. Some other words you want to be paying close attention to and avoiding, if at all possible, are engage, empower, explore, anything that is going to be really, really generic that anybody can claim happens within their community. So we need to get specific here. What? No, really, really what? What is it that you are offering? You're not just offering a space to explore. You're offering something very specific. If you're not sure what that specific thing is yet, we need to get clear on that. But here's a great example from Dreamers and Doers. They use this word amplify. Get amplified. This is truly unique to what they do. There are many communities for female entrepreneurs out there, but they talk about the specific work of getting amplified. And they talk about this through 3 different ways. They talk about it through public relations opportunities, through authentic connections, authentic relationships, and through curated resources. They talk about the importance of curation in this network. So that's a great example of being very specific about the value that you're going to offer that no one else is going to offer. The second component of a really effective community value proposition is that it needs to be unique. So not just specific, but also unique and different. So maybe you really like the example I just gave you from Dreamers and Doers. That does not mean you're now going to go out and copy paste and say that your community members are going to get amplified. Please don't do that, okay? That is not what I'm telling you to do here. It's unique to you and to the needs of your members. Now, how do you know how to write something or create something that is truly unique to both yourself and your members? The only way to do this is, 1, to know yourself and your business back and forth, left and right, but also to know your members extremely well. If you don't know your members extremely well, you don't know what language they would use to actually describe the progress that they'd like to make, then it's really, really important that you do some relationship building or do structured relationship building, which is going through, doing interviews, talking with people, and asking them about the kinds of progress they're excited about making relative to your subject matter. One of our clients recently realized that they had been promising to connect women from across businesses in many, many contexts, and they really weren't saying anything with their community value proposition. It sounded just like everything else out there. So we got really specific with them. And now what did we say we were going to provide once we got specific? The community value proposition for them ended up coming down to 3 things: helping these members of their community to build their confidence, overcome workplace challenges, and to create authentic and meaningful relationships among the community members. So now I want to ask you, what are your unique value propositions in your community? What can you offer that nobody else out there can offer to your members? Let me know by responding in the comments below, and I'm happy to give you any feedback, encouragement, or just simply cheer you on as you do this work. The last, but certainly not least important component of your value proposition is that it needs to be made actionable. What do I mean by this? Well, when you're writing your community value proposition, you are making promises to your members about what it is they're going to get when they join your membership. So that means you need to take action on those promises. Otherwise, you're going to be out of integrity. There is nothing worse than being out of integrity as a community leader. What it creates is a sense that people have been oversold to, that the membership has been overhyped, and it creates a lot of resentment, dissatisfaction, and detractors who are going to actually go out there and say things about your membership that you don't want them to say. All because you said one thing about what people were going to get from the community, and you didn't follow that up with actions. So let's avoid this altogether. So for example, like the examples I've shared today, if you promise to authentically connect people in meaningful relationships, then you're going to need to take action that is going to lead to those authentic and meaningful relationships. So there's infinite things you could do to connect people. You can have member matching or a buddy program. You can have vulnerable conversations where you role model the same vulnerability that you hope from your members. You can make sure that you have guidelines in place and safety in place so that if people have any issues in the community, that they feel safe to report those issues, come to you, and take their own action if they need to in order to establish that the community is still a safe space for them. It is so very, very important that we don't overhype things. I can't tell you how many membership groups, how many communities I've joined where one thing is promised at the outset, and then I get to be part of that community and I find that the experience is not in alignment with those promises at all. That is unethical and it's out of integrity, and we don't want to go there. So now you need to ask yourself, how am I going to fulfill and make actionable this value proposition that I have written? If you are right now thinking, I have no idea, Carrie, I have no idea where to even start, then I highly recommend you check out my workshop, which is going to be linked in this YouTube video description, all about how to create meaningful and memorable community experiences and programs. That's going to walk you through the why is it that you're building this community, who are you building it for, and then crucial to this last piece, what are they actually going to do together? Once that's designed, then you get into the marketing, okay? Then you get into the value proposition. So you want to make sure that you start there if you're feeling lost, and then come back to this video, write out that value proposition. I guarantee you will feel much more confident about it. You will feel much more in your power as you step into marketing and selling and growing your amazing community. I hope this video was extremely valuable for you. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what value proposition is going to really help you to stand out and be truly unique in your space. If you like this video, there's a lot more where this came from. So you can find me on Instagram at Carrie Melissa Jones. Let me know what you learned from this video. Let me know what questions you have about this video. And I'm happy to answer those questions and just to cheer you on throughout this journey. All right, friends, happy community building out there, and I will see you soon.